Hey guys, today we're going to learn about two-way frequency tables. So first we need to discuss what two-way tables are, and then we can talk about how we're finding the frequency based off of that data from those two-way tables. A two-way table is used to display and observe relationships between two sets of categorical data. So any two pieces of information that you have, what are some examples of categorical data? Any two sets of data. Like we've seen in the scatter plots lately. You could have food, animals, restaurants, colors, grades, any two sets of data. Two-way tables show us the frequency or number of times that something is going to occur. So let's go ahead and look at the first example. Lexi conducted a survey and asked participants whether they were male or female and if they preferred summer or winter. Overall, the results in the two-way table below. Add each row or column to complete the total, then use the table to answer each question. So, 23 males preferred summer. 27 males preferred winter. How many total males is that? 50. 35 females preferred summer, and 15 females preferred winter. That's a total of 50 females. How many total people were surveyed? Altogether, how many people were surveyed? If I surveyed 50 males and 50 females, that is 100. So the total of people surveyed goes in the bottom right corner. How many people said they preferred summer? Well, these columns are both summer. Add them together and we get 58. How many people said they preferred winter? Well, these columns right here are both my winter. Add them together and I get 42. How many females said they preferred winter? Females that preferred winter. So females go over to the winter column and I get 15. How many males said they preferred summer? Males are here and summer is right here. So I get 23. Next question. Martin surveyed several students and asked if they had siblings and if they lived in one or a two-story home. Use the survey results below to complete the two-way table. So, let's look at the data that we are given. The top one asks if we have siblings, so yes, I have a sibling or no. And the bottom one tells one or two-story home. So this one right here says, yes, I have a sibling, and they live in a one-story home. This one right here says, no, I don't have a sibling, but I live in a two-story home. So we need to go through and figure out what is going to go in my table down here. How many people had siblings and lived in a one-story home? So I'm looking for a yes and a 1. How many of those do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 people had a sibling and lived in a one-story home. Now I want to figure out how many people had a sibling but lived in a two-story home. So yes and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So the total there of people who had siblings, whether they lived in a one-story or two-story, is 11. Now I want to figure out who has no siblings, so an N, and lives in a one-story. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get a 4 there. Next, I'm going to do if they had no siblings and they lived in a two-story home. So an N and a 2. Where are my N shoes? Right there, right there, right there. And that looks to me like that's it. So there should be 3 there. So how many people had no siblings? 4 had no siblings and lived in one story. 3 had no siblings and lived in a 2-story. The total there is 7. So if I go ahead and add how many people, whether they had siblings or not, lived in a 1-story, that's 8. How many people, whether they had siblings or not, lived in a 2-story, that is 10. How many total people were surveyed? Well, right here should be 18, and right here should be 18 for your total in the very last corner. All right, let's answer these questions. How many people were surveyed lived in a 2-story home? We found that to be 10. Of these people with siblings, how many answered that they lived in a 2-story home? So I have a sibling and a 2-story home. 7. How many people surveyed did not have siblings? And that would be 7 as well. We're going to skip these last 2 questions because I think you can get the gist of it, and we're going to move on to relative frequency. So skip 3 and 4, and we are going to go to student handout number 6. Student handout number 6 is talking about the relative frequency. Relative frequency. So while the frequency is the number of times that something occurs, relative frequency tells us the number of times something occurs compared to the total. Calculating the relative frequency. To find the relative frequency, set up the ratio of the frequency over the total. Then convert the ratio to a percent. Read questions carefully to determine whether the total is referring to the entire table or a specific row or column. All right, let's look at the first example. In a survey of 50 people, 23 individuals answered that their favorite ice cream flavor was vanilla. What was the relative frequency of individuals who chose vanilla? Express your answer as a ratio and as a percent. Well, let's look back up top. The relative frequency. To calculate it, it is the frequency over the total. Look back at our question. What is the frequency? What is the number of times that this has occurred? What is the number of people who chose vanilla as their favorite flavor? And that would be 23 people. Out of the total, well, the total is 50 people who were surveyed. So that's my ratio. This is part of my answer. I got my ratio. Now I need to get my percent. So go to your calculator. To get your percent, just do that fraction. Whether you put it in as a fraction, and you do 23 divided by 50, and notice that it's not giving me what I need. It's making it a fraction. So just go ahead and do 23 divided by 50. That's going to give me a decimal. But don't I want it written as a percent? So how do I change a decimal to a percent? Think about that for a second. Very good. I take my decimal and move it 2 spots to the right. So 0.46 is really 46%. So my answer here, written as a ratio and written as a percent, are right there. Number 2, complete each blank space in the 2A table at the right. Use the 2A table to answer those next couple of questions. So we got people who have gym memberships and people who don't have gym memberships. Some people that have gym memberships floss regularly. Some people that have gym memberships don't floss regularly. So the two categories we're talking about is whether they have a gym membership or not, And the other one is whether they floss regularly or not. We'll find your totals. Add these up. What does that give me? 32. Add all your rows, add all your columns. So there are my rows, here are my columns. What does that give me? 45, 55, and the total of my row should equal the total of my column. And you can double check yourself there. We are going to use this table to answer the next couple of questions. So question number 3 says, of the people surveyed, what is the relative frequency of people who floss regularly? How many people floss regularly? The floss regularly is here. All these people right here floss regularly. That is how many people? A total of 32. 32 over the total amount of people who were surveyed is 100. What is that as a percent? Isn't a percent out of 100? Well, if 32 is over 100, then it's going to be 32%. Let's go ahead and erase some of these lines so I don't have... All right, number 4. Of the people who own a gym membership, what is the relative frequency of people who floss regularly? So gym membership and they floss regularly. And that would be right here. 21 out of the total people who own a gym membership. How many total people own a gym membership? That is only 45. Because I only want the people who actually own a gym membership. So if I go ahead and divide this in my calculator, I get 0.47, and make it a percent is 47%. Number 5. Of the people who do not own a gym membership, what is the relative frequency of people who floss regularly? So I want the people who don't own a gym membership and floss regularly. Well, no gym membership is here and floss regularly is here. So 11 people. Out of how many? How many people don't own a gym membership? That would be 55. So 11 out of 55. And if I use my calculator to divide, I would get 0.20, which, move it over, is 20%. Number 6 asks, does there seem to be a relationship between people who own a gym membership and people who floss regularly? Well, let's look here. Does there seem to be a relationship between the people who own a gym membership and who floss regularly? If I own a gym membership, there's a lot of people who floss regularly. What about those people who don't own a gym membership? Do they floss regularly? Isn't that almost half there? So is there a relationship between these two? I would say there is. I would say the people who own a gym membership seem more likely to floss than people who do not own a gym membership. All right, let's go ahead and do one more question, and then we will be done. What did I do here? Oh, here is just 3, 4, 5, and 6, which I just did on the other slide. So let's go ahead and go on to 7. All right, so for each question below, express the relative frequency as percentages, round to the nearest whole number. Liz wanted to see if there was any association between people who have kids and people who have pets. The 2A table shows the results from a survey. Complete the blank spaces. So, how many total kids, how many total people had kids, whether they had pets or not? The amount of people who had kids is 63. So then these two things right here should add to 63. What's this blank spot right here? Very good, it's 41. How many people who didn't have kids had no pets? Do I have enough information to figure this out if I don't know the total here? I do not, but look what I do know. I know this in the bottom here. Doesn't that help me get the total of this whole column? These two things here should give me 125. So if I go ahead and subtract 125 minus 63, that gives me 62. Does that then help me here? It certainly does. If there are 62 total people who had no kids, how many of them had no pets? And if you go ahead and do your math there, that would be 39. Now I'm left with enough information to add that column, and I can add that column. This down here was really key to help me find out that second part. So let's go ahead and answer our questions. Of the people who were surveyed, what is the relative frequency of people who have pets? So my pets column is right here. It is a column. So go down. How many total people have pets? 64. Out of how many total surveyed? 125. If I go ahead and put that in my calculator and round that decimal to the nearest whole number, I get 51%. Because 64 divided by 125 is 0.512. If I move that over twice, 51.2%, the nearest percent is 51. Of the people who have kids, what is the relative frequency of people who have pets? So of the people who have kids, so here's the kids column. How many people have kids and have pets? There's 41 of them. Out of the total people who had kids, I only want the people who have kids. The total people who have kids is 63. So if I go ahead and divide that, what's that going to look like? 41 divided by 63. If I move that over 2 times, that's going to be what, 65%? All right, let's go down to the last 2 and I'll let you get started on homework. Of the people who do not have kids, so do people don't have kids, this is the no kids column. What is the relative frequency of people who have pets? How many people had no kids, but they had pets? Well, that is 23. How many total people had no kids? 62. So if I divide those, it gives me 37. Does there seem to be a relationship between the people who have kids and the people who have pets? Think about that. The people who have kids and the people who have pets. That is this column right here. I have kids and I have pets. That's 41 people. It does seem that people with kids are more likely to have pets than people without kids. So that would have an association. All right, go ahead and check Google Classroom to see what your homework is.